Welcome, friends. It is Unlocked 301, the next episode of the world's #1 Xbox show. Coming up on this week's show, it's mostly a post-E3 wrap-up. We were a little rushed for Unlocked 300 in the chaos of E3, so we're going to talk a lot more about the Xbox One X, the pricing, the value, the games, all that stuff from E3. We're really going to dig into it here. Plus, a few interesting news stories from this week, including Io Interactive, the makers of Hitman. Some big news for them that could potentially factor into the Xbox's first-party future. That's what I want to talk about there. Halo 6 won't be revealed anytime soon. We'll tell you about why, and some news on your next Diablo-related experience coming up very soon. And I remind you that if you missed any of our E3 coverage, and odds are you did because there was so much of it, unless you were up 24/7, you could not have possibly seen it all. Check out IGN.com/E3 and be sure to subscribe to Unlocked here, YouTube.com/IGN Unlocked. And that's all the time we have because of all the plugs that I just had to do. So we'll see. Now, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. We've got a hanging in there, Destin Legary.
Doing okay.
Doing
hey, everybody.
Okay. Alana Pierce.
Also
Marty
doing
Sleva.
okay.
Hello, I feel wonderful.
Most
Good.
of us at E3 sick, so it's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
She says with a...
Like a lot of people at the office are out
voice-
right now.
Voices are back.
Well, mine's
Yeah.
a little croaky, but I'm getting there.
You
We're all
sound like a
getting
weird
there.
frog.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That's like my aesthetic. Yeah. This weird frog. Yeah.
Anyway.
First thing I did when I came back, I had to play Forza. I didn't get to play the new Forza at E3, so I immediately started playing Forza 6.
Oh, 6, not Horizon 3.
I don't have Horizon 3.
What?
Obviously,
You could
You're off
purchase
the show, dude.
You could purchase it.
have you heard how many times we've said it's
I have
amazing?
6. I won the
I believe it was nominated for IGN's Game of the Year.
6 is good.
Big Forza boy.
6 is also good.
6 is excellent. Anyway,
It's better, but anyway.
it is better.
Australia.
It's 100. Yes. Anywho, I wanted to start by tallying up our E3 predictions. See how we did on episode 299. Yes, 299.
Nailed it.
Whatever one that was. The one before E3 where we went on record. Marty, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I did really well.
You did. If you aced this test, if it was golf where you're trying to get the lowest score possible.
Thank you.
You predicted there would be a new FromSoft IP that would be still hella soulsy.
Yeah,
In
it
your
was
words.
just
Didn't
it was
happen.
behind closed doors and I can't write about it yet. But it's really cool. It's hella soulsy.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Minecraft 2, that didn't happen
Also
either.
BCD. Can't
Yeah.
write about it yet.
Instead, we got Minecraft 4K or Super Ultra Real,
Yeah.
which doesn't count as Minecraft 2. So
Well, wait,
points for you.
Is Super Lucky's Tale hella soulsy?
It's very soulsy. From Software is also developing that. Yeah.
I played that on Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And then you thought the Scorpio would be called Xbox One Elite.
Yeah, I was
You
right.
struck out there as well.
I was right.
You were not right.
You know what? It's
It's-
fine.
I keep still calling it Scorpio. Like, how long do you think it's going to take? For
We
me to
had
stop calling it
devs
Scorpio?
on
Yeah.
the live show calling it Scorpio.
Rod did.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
think it's
Rod-
like he was like, "Oh, we're like showing people Scorpio." I was like, "You mean Xbox One X?" He was like, "Yes."
I think it's going to take a couple months, honestly,
Yeah.
for the veil of
It's
secrecy
also
to wear
that
off.
Xbox One X isn't that easy to say.
Well, we
I
should.
don't want to just say X.
S?
Yeah,
X.
I think we. I mean, by the way, if I had a dollar for every time someone tweeted me with something along the lines of, "I just figured it out, Xbox One X XBOX,"
Yeah.
I could quit this job and walk away a millionaire.
We got some good detectives.
Everybody just had the realization at some point over the last week.
Yeah.
No way.
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis is a ghost the whole time. Incredible. I was
dead
the
the whole-
only one who figured it out.
Oh man.
So I did
Rosebud was
well.
a sled.
I did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
Yeah, you fared very well, Marty.
you.
Still holding in there for that Minecraft 2 reveal. That's never going.
Still holding out for that.
It's absolutely going to happen at some point. You think there's never
No.
going to be a Minecraft 2? All right. Remember when Mitch said there wouldn't be a Battlefront 2? You're going to go write Minecraft 2.
That's my favorite. I love that.
Well, apparently that's how this thing goes.
Yeah.
Like, I guess
Oh.
so.
Enjoy writing the story for that. I'm not writing it.
Well, you have to. That's the rules.
No, I said there is going to be. He
So it's
said
the
there's
opposite.
never.
Yeah, the
that.
person who
Ryan
says it
has to
won't
write I
exist
see.
Yeah.
ends up writing the sequel.
Congrats.
Yeah,
That's
free
amazing.
congrats.
Love
I never
Minecraft
thought I
story.
would even play Minecraft, let alone work for it.
Elder Dragons and whatnot.
Never thought it would have dialogue, but here we go. Elder Dragon?
Isn't that the boss of the game?
the Ender
Elder-
Dragon.
Oh, the Ender Dragon? Well, you know who the boss of Minecraft 2 is? His grandfather, the Elder Dragon.
Oh.
Destin Legary.
Yes, sir.
Crackdown 3 will be a Scorpio launch title. Nailed that. November 7th, same day as the Xbox One X.
Take the point.
Well done there. Destiny 2 will have special Scorpio features for Xbox Scorpio, parentheses, 60 frames per second, question mark? No.
Wow, I was wrong on
We're
that
gonna
one.
miss.
Yeah, we actually didn't see really any of that.
The devs don't even know like what they can do with the console yet. They weren't able to.
Well,
confirm.
other than they said it won't be 60 frames.
Yeah, they can confirm all consoles.
Their whole
30.
the way their game is built, it's
Yeah.
that's not going to happen on.
We didn't really see. Maybe I missed something. Any Xbox One X titles that are like enhanced in terms of frame rate, right? It was
I think
it's-
Mike Ibarra tweeted out one. Oh man, I think it might be Ark Survival Evolved.
Well,
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
No, it's on PS4 as well. It's going to be 60. Something he tweeted out is 60 on.
I saw
X
someone tweet
and
something out
60.
about that.
Yeah.
okay.
So it's
did a
not-
good
it's
journalism.
Not unheard of. Yeah, we
based
did it.
on
Somebody
the,
tweeted.
based on the Fireteam chat conversation with the Destiny guys, like it's so early with the hardware that they're like, we don't want to confirm anything till we get more hands-on time with the dev kits.
which is the super
They're playing it
industry
safe.
way of saying.
I would have
no.
thought that they'd had it for a while.
Okay, they confirmed it's going to be 30.
Yeah.
They're worried about 4K and how the processor can handle it and everything. So
Right.
they were like, we're pretty sure, but we don't want to confirm anything. Yeah.
And what else did you say here, Destin? You said that Scorpio will be $5.99 and that you'd be buying it.
That was close.
Yeah. Well.
No points there either.
It's gonna be $4.99. Dustin will not buy it.
A point for you. And then there was me. I said Scorpio would be $4.99, which I think is a terrible idea. Yes and yes.
Yeah.
I wrote an article about it that some of you totally agreed with and some of you absolutely did not agree with. So point there.
Your angle was good.
Thank you. I tried to be be considerate of. And a lot of people.
It wasn't like it's $4.99. This is BS.
No, a lot. And I think a lot of people just misunderstood my point as like, well, it's a great console, so it's yeah. But my point was, I was arguing about its place in the market. I don't understand. Well, we'll get.
Yeah,
to
your headline was who's
We'll
it
get
for?
to that.
Yeah.
So point for me there. I also predicted a new Splinter Cell would be announced on Microsoft stage with the return of
I
Michael
wish
Ironside.
you would have been right.
Well, Ubisoft
won.
Toronto is doing the spiritual successor to Splinter Cell, which is that weird spaceship Toys to Life game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Man's Skylanders.
The
too.
ship is voiced not at all by Michael
Man,
Ironside.
Skylanders?
No Man's Skylanders. That was my
I
hot
like
move.
that.
Thank
That's
you.
really good.
That
very
is really
hot.
good, actually. So
Just Dance has that Sam Fisher level, right?
yeah,
I'm making that up.
no points there. I also thought that the little Halo thing would be a 4K update for the X for Halo 5 that would grant 4-player split screen multiplayer. That did not happen.
What was 3?
Halo Wars 2
the-
DLC.
Yes, Halo Wars 2 DLC.
Oh.
That was it. So a point for me there. So Destin a point, myself a point, Marty big donut.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Donut. Skull.
and Alana.
Yeah, what's up?
Our predictions winner from this year. You predicted that Microsoft would open with the Scorpio hardware reveal and then show Forza 7 as the first game with a car on stage. Yes, yes, and yes. Nailed it.
They kept saying 9/11 though. They should have not done that. I did not like that.
What kind of
Very
Porsche was it?
popular car. Isn't that-
But that's been around longer than
That's
9/11.
the thing.
9/11.
Like,
but
he
at a
kept
certain
saying that.
point,
It's like
you can't
9/11's a very
say it
common
anymore.
car. 911. Nah, it's still
That's
bad.
also no.
Damn it.
No, I think at that point the 911 predates.
Make the 912.
Porsche-
Just have the
Porsche
car.
thing.
They have the Porsche be different. 912.
So it was the
You can't just tell Porsche to change the thing. So this is actually the Porsche being on stage is actually a really big deal because Porsche had previously kind of been hard to get into Forza or racing games as a whole. And I believe, I wasn't able to confirm this, but I believe the issue was that they didn't want to have any imagery of their cars being damaged in a video game. So they didn't come with Forza 6 on launch. So this is like, it's an awesome deal that they have it.
Yeah,
from the get-go.
6-year deal that the Forza franchise will have access to Porsche, or if you're
I mean, you can still have the Mustang. It's
you're-
fine, but
yes,
you can
if-
also have a Porsche.
or if you're an aficionado, Porsche,
A Porsche.
which I'm not into that.
But I also said
Jack
Forza
911.
and not Forza. So
Yeah. And then what else did you say, Alana? You also predicted original Xbox backwards compatibility. Yes. Nailed it. Crimson Skies.
yeah.
I'm
First
stoked
out
about
of the
that.
gate. That is
We
great.
still don't know how it's going to work, though, correct?
Yeah. I asked Phil Spencer.
Put in your disc, right?
Yes. If you have the disc, it'll work.
I'm still floored
I'm
by
happy
that.
about that. I have a bunch of
That
discs.
that for some reason really surprises me.
You could run literally every on an X. Actually, not even just on
Probably
the
just
X.
on an Xbox One.
On a regular Xbox One, you could run any Xbox game, original Xbox game, in RAM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you, which no loading times.
Not
woo!
Fusion Frenzy.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying that's
I'm-
how it works, but I'm saying they could.
I'm
Well, yeah,
going
and
home next
Fusion
week, and
Frenzy
I'm now
was
going to
confirmed,
bring back
right?
all my original Xbox One games. Xbox game, sorry.
Yes. What?
Crimson and Fusion Frenzy were confirmed.
Those are the
right?
first two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my list there, I need Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. That's got to happen. Knights of the Old Republic. Got to happen.
I made a
Yeah.
huge list and it got deleted.
Deleted?
Well,
Little
it's there.
TLC.
Like Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, the Spider-Man
Not
games,
happening.
the Grand
Not
Theft
all
Autos.
licensed things that.
Whatever.
Not
I'm
happening.
allowed to want them.
The Grand
I
Theft
know.
Autos would be really good.
Yeah.
Like 3 Vice City and San Andreas. That'd be
Exactly.
GTA 3 does not hold up incredibly well, I
You
think.
shut your face.
I'm not surprised by that.
I don't know. In the
can
same
play
way
it on
I
my
played
phone,
Assassin's Creed
Marty.
2 and it didn't hold up super well.
You shut your
Three-
face.
Why
Three
is
is
everyone
still-
yelling at me?
So it's probably the most open-ended as far as the missions go.
Yeah.
You know, and the one thing 4 and 5, you can't necessarily
X-Men Legends.
do missions a million different ways. You do have choice, but like a cutscene will place you somewhere.
Yeah.
But in 3, you could absolutely just as soon as you triggered a mission event, you could be like just set up on a rooftop somewhere with a sniper rifle. You could go steal a car and go run a guy down that way. God,
I really don't remember it that well because I played that game when I was 12. I played 3 when I was 12.
Well, that's
And-
illegal.
Well, I like bringing that
Especially in
up
Australia
in a
at
way
the
that's
time.
like I played this game when I was 12 and I'm fine. Everything
Everything turned out all right.
I've never hit anyone. I've never
fine.
murdered a
That's the word
person,
we're using.
mostly.
yeah.
But
Paid.
I was GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas came as a 3-pack in this little like black case
for
for
Xbox, yeah.
original Xbox, and I played the hell out of all of those. And I wish that I could remember them, but at the same time, I don't want to go back and play them because I feel like I'd be like, oh, this is.
I mean, for me, 5 supersedes it now, but up until then, I think 3 is the most geographically interesting GTA.
More than Vice City, you think?
I think Vice City is the least geographically interesting GTA. It's a flat rectangle. There's no.
2 flat rectangles.
I like the music and the story the most in Vice City.
Oh,
it's one of
yeah,
my favorites.
and that's-
the
that's why people love it,
motorcycles,
yeah.
do tricks off
But
the wall.
3 had.
Still Claude in Vice City, right?
Yeah.
He's
No,
3.
no.
No.
It's not Claude.
No, no,
Tommy
no.
Vercetti.
Oh, you're
He's
totally
actually
right.
Ray
Ray Liotta.
Liotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I was watching cutscenes from that game like a couple of weeks ago, and it actually still looks pretty good. And it's really just because the voice acting.
The voice acting is great. Yeah,
like
it's
because it's so good, you're like, I don't care that these all look
Yeah,
ridiculous.
same thing as
Totally.
San Andreas.
Rockstar will never work with Ray again, but
Or most of their voice actors, but you know, that's fine. Anyway,
there was
Anyway.
drama with Leota.
Oh.
Never mind.
Anyhow. And then what was your final? Voice-based hardware assistant for Cortana, like Amazon's Alexa, not connect with something smaller for your entire house that also controls your Xbox. A swing and a miss on that one.
well,
but
that
a
one was
valiant
my
attempt.
unlikely one.
Yeah, because
that
you
I-
thought maybe that was like a CES
CES.
kind of thing.
Yep.
But nevertheless, well done.
Can I put those points on the trivia?
We absolutely can't put those
Nope.
points
Do
on the
that?
trivia. No, you can't.
Can we
No.
do that?
No, you can't. Because
But
then
I'm
I
out
would
so much.
Because then I would have predicted 3 things that I knew were going to happen. Because I knew that half the announcements at the show.
Do we even have a trophy this year?
For E3 predictions?
No, for trivia.
Oh, for trivia?
Yeah, we'll
it
do
is
one by
in
the end of it.
progress by
Oh,
a
cool.
very
Yeah.
kind, yeah,
Can't
another
wait
very
for it to be on my
kind
desk.
fan is making it.
That's awesome.
So it will happen. Okay, so
Got
those
me the
were
stolen one. The one
those
got
were
me
our
hit.
E3 predictions. I want to move now to just some more E3 follow-up because the 4 of us did not have a chance to sit down after the conference. Although huge kudos to Lucy O'Brien, who we love getting to see whenever we get to see her from our Australian office, and of course Miranda Sanchez sat in as well. But we had unfortunately a very sort of rushed 28-minute conversation that consisted of episode 300 that probably many of you are like, that's it?
Yeah.
Well, here we are. We can air it out now.
Lucy broke awesome Anthem news live on the show for me. I was very happy. Drew Karpyshyn is writing it. My favorite writer.
Oh, nice.
Is that true?
Cool.
Yeah, he wrote KOTOR. He wrote Mass Effect 1.
Wow.
Like
That's true? That
that's
she wasn't.
accurate.
Oh,
Yeah, Lucy doesn't
that's
usually
awesome.
lie.
that's great. I thought he left BioWare.
He works at BioWare Austin.
Oh.
He was working on Star Wars.
Oh,
I don't know if he's still with BioWare or not, but he's writing it.
That's awesome.
I really hope you're right because otherwise
I am right. He tweeted it.
Oh,
so,
okay.
all right. Yeah.
Say as I
I
told
really
you.
hope
triple
he's not
verifying.
lying.
I think
Yeah.
Destiny, Lucy is a very good source.
You think
Yes.
Destiny?
I said Destiny because of Destin.
Yeah.
And I'm very
Kind of
sick.
getting used to
Destiny
It was like a
O'Brien?
really
Yeah.
weird
What's wrong with you?
A lot of strange
People
things.
label all my
I-
stuff Destiny now. It's like, whatever.
I don't know why I'm reluctant to believe. Like, I've been off the grid. I was at Disneyland for the last 5 days, literally not checking email or
Went to
video
Disneyland
games.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's confirmed.
Yes.
He tweeted it, and BioWare's confirmed. Ryan's like, I'll wait and see for myself.
let's hold off on that.
Fact checking. Yeah.
iOS sends him an email. He's like, I'm gonna wait for the credits.
Yeah, it was doing Disneyland right after E3 is an endurance
That's
test.
insane, dude.
Yeah, it just kind of worked out where like the one plane ticket's already paid for. I'm already there, so then the rest of the family can come in.
Oh, that's insane.
But if you've
Saw
never
that
been,
Dole Whip, Ryan.
it's so good. I need a Dole Whip machine installed in my house. That's
If you need
how-
to gain weight, that's a great idea.
Well, it's non-dairy, and I have the dairy allergy, so it's like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's
I couldn't eat that Lancer.
exactly. That's why. Well, also that was disgusing,
It was delicious. How
was-
dare you?
vile.
I wonder if
There's-
it's still in the freezer.
I was gonna say no. I think there are still bits of it in the between the table.
Want ants? That's how you.
Yeah, that's
get
how
ants.
you get ants.
Answer ants.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Thank you, Destin. All right,
There's no ant line from the game.
you just got to go. We're doing Archer, but I like that you pulled us back to
a
Gears of War.
Lancer or something.
I know, Chocolate Lancer.
Oh, I get it.
Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't get.
No, I got it.
Okay.
This is a bad segment.
I'm
I
pretty.
think this is great.
I'm pretty on the nose.
This is what happens after E3. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk Xbox One X because that is, of course, the topic du jour. Continues to be. So a bunch of people that want it are mad that they can't pre-order it because
The
Yeah.
FCC hasn't
the
approved
FCC hasn't approved it. Which, like, I'm not saying it's Microsoft's fault at all. Who
Microsoft.
knows who's? It's either the FCC's fault or Microsoft didn't get it in soon enough or FCC was slow to whoever. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. That's got to be bad for business. You got a bunch of people that want to give you money and you can't take their money yet.
Do you think they did that to prevent leaks? Maybe.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
That's
No, I mean,
entirely
the Switch
possible.
was available for pre-order the second.
Well, that's kind of. I mean, it's not related to that, but I mean,
But
that
stuff
screwed up
leaked.
a lot with so many shipment issues, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like maybe that's a thing that you shouldn't do immediately.
Yeah, but I feel like they are not capitalizing on the most pre-release hype that they would have had, which is that
yeah.
conference. when
Exactly.
everyone
The
is
moment as soon as it's announced, people will be like,
I mean, that's
want
what
it.
happened with Switch, where people like pre-ordered multiple of them and then canceled them, and you know, it's because you want it immediately as soon as you see the shiny new thing.
And by now,
You're
maybe
giving
you've
them
pre-ordered
time.
10 different games that were revealed at some point through E3 on Ubisoft stage or on Sony stage. And so maybe you're like, well, I have all these games coming. I don't have enough money for a
Yeah.
console.
You're giving them time to think about the price, to think about Ryan's article that he wrote about, like, why are you getting the console?
yeah, I don't want to rehash what I said. I actually want to hear what you guys think of it. Destin, I know you're in. At,
Yeah, I'm in. I'm
'cause
buying
you were
it.
in at $5.99.
I
but
skipped-
essentially, you're in.
Yeah.
You've talked about how you have a
Skip the S, waiting for the X. The price point is $499. It is steep, but like I'm going to sell my old console. That'll bump $100 off or so. And
you have a 4K TV.
yeah, I'm slow. I think I'm going to do just a monitor in 4K at 144 hertz. I've been thinking
Okay.
more and more about it.
So something smaller.
Yeah, like a 27-inch monitor, but at 144 hertz that can handle 4K. I'm not going to worry about it.
But the games aren't going to run that at 144.
I'm using it for
PC
multiple
stuff.
purpose.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's fair.
So PC,
Yep.
not too worried about HDR,
Yep.
and 4K
Okay.
at 27.
Good. Well, that'll-
That's where I'm leaning right now. There are TV options. I'm still kind of weighing. I have until
know that
August.
the
Or for the X, I have until November.
I will say, like, didn't we play Destiny in 4K on the PC at the thing? At the
Yes.
like, see those.
It looks really good.
Well, but on the monitor that small, I worry that. I mean, I know a lot of people say this, and I guess it's fairly subjective. Can you really tell the difference when?
Oh, yeah.
On 27 versus 10. 27 inch 4K versus 1080.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dramatically. Yeah. The 144 hertz and the 4K, like it looks absolutely stunning on PC, Destiny 2 specifically.
Yeah.
And then like hopping back to like they had it on PlayStation 4s
Right.
at their show floor, but running at 30, it's different.
Yeah.
It's very, very different. And you can see that there is a
So people have asked me too, are you guys going to talk about 4K TVs on Unlocked? Yes, we will we will cover that ground.
I'm sure we'll end up writing.
I have
articles
no idea
about
what
that
to
too.
buy.
Yes, we are 100% putting together an article
Yeah.
that is the best 4K TVs sort of for if you want this price range or this price range,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
There
Yeah,
is, there's
we'll get
so
there.
much to consider.
Well, how about
I'm
when
like
we
totally
when we
overwhelmed.
write that feature up, then we can adopt it to a list for the show.
Exactly.
Good idea.
Yeah. So just in the coming months between now and November 7th, we will do our best to help you out with that. So yeah, Alana, where are you sitting with the X?
You know,
price and-
I said before that I wouldn't buy it immediately. I kind of think that I don't really tend to get things on launch day. I did for Xbox One and for PS4, but that was only because I worked in the industry. So it's
Right.
like requirement, whereas this isn't so much. So I said the same that I did beforehand, but I was super impressed by the size. Like I have to say,
Oh my
that.
gosh.
yes,
Yeah.
the
box
the
itself
hardware
is gorgeous. Yeah.
I think it's incredibly impressive hardware. But I don't have the 4K TV. It's expensive. That's almost a flight home. So it's, you know, I just have to think about it that way.
Sure.
And,
Absolutely.
I feel like I'll get it when the price drops, or when I feel like my Xbox One, because I still have the first one, I don't have an S either, is dramatically different. Like I'm expecting the UI to run a lot faster, even just like the home.
Hope so.
And
we haven't
that's
seen
the
it
thing
yet.
that I kind of care about. So it's going to be like the same as I tend to approach buying a new iPhone, is like when this feels noticeably slow or outdated compared to the X, which I'm sure will have in the office, will be the point where I'm like, okay, I need to upgrade. But right now, no.
Like an iPhone. There's a point
Exactly
where
like an
they
iPhone.
keep updating the OS, and eventually you're like, oh, this is super sluggish.
Yeah. Well,
on
I'm
here.
exactly like, I don't update my phone every year. I know some
Yeah.
people do that, but I absolutely don't do that. I only change it
afford
when
it.
I'm like, I need to do this. And I feel the exact same way about this. The way that consoles are going with these iterative updates, I'm going to do that. Just
And you do not have a 4K TV currently?
no.
Yeah.
And
Do any of us?
No,
No.
not on
No.
the show.
Yeah.
no.
Some people in the office.
I know,
do,
yeah.
but-
Altano has one,
it's-
Caleb has one, Pear has one.
Yeah,
My
Brandon.
thing is,
Tyrell.
I don't want to buy
Voices.
wrong. Like I'm paranoid about buying the wrong TV.
Apparently that one we have in
Like,
the corner is the one everyone has. All three of them.
Well,
have.
The
and
that
that's,
TV's pretty
Samsung
great.
KS
And-
8000 is what.
yeah,
it
that
is
and
at
people
the
ask me
time.
about that all the time. Like I did, like I sort of.
It's still.
I did a general bit of research, narrowed down. I was looking for best 4K TVs for gaming specifically, and that sort of zeroed in on that one. And
Well, I really
the price was
I want a curved
reasonable.
screen. Like if I'm going to update my TV, I live
like
in a
get the
studio.
Samsung KS 8500. That's the curved version of the same.
That's pretty much
television.
what I want, because I reviewed one once from LG, and I just loved it.
The curve thing seems like a waste of money, though, from what I can tell. I've played
Oh, that's
games.
what you wanted, though, so.
So the thing
Well-
is, I live in a really small. I'm in a studio. I just have
Yeah.
one room,
Yeah.
and the only place that I can really fit a TV is actually in my wardrobe. I have to like slide back a door
Mm-hmm.
to see my TV, meaning it can only sit in one place, and I can only sit in one place.
Yeah.
Curved screen changes that. It means
True.
that you
All
can
right.
sit in multiple
Yeah.
locations, and you can still see, and it looks like you're seeing it from front on. And it's like
Fair point.
for the setup I have, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I think most people recommended the TV that you recommended, Ryan, because it is really great for gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low input lag.
Exactly.
Yeah, just great picture quality, good color levels.
ACR Sport, all that.
Yeah, it's
all the
fairly
good stuff.
thin.
And now they're about a grandish
It was.
for the 55.
Yeah, it depends It depends what size you get. Ours out here is a 65 because
Yeah,
we have it in a huge space.
Like that's too big for my.
yeah, for my
It's almost too big for like how close it is to the
It's-
couch out there, but it is beautiful.
Yeah,
like that
it's
TV
nice.
is gorgeous.
Although I gotta say, I did see. I don't know anything. I didn't even see a game running on it, but I was in a behind closed doors session with Corey Balrog for God of War at Sony, and they just played the trailer.
Yeah.
That was the thinnest
Thinnest
TV
TV.
I've
Yep.
ever seen in my life. It was.
It was literally the first thing I commented on when I went into
I
the room.
walked and I
"Look
like
at this little guy."
I looked on the side and it's less than an inch. It's probably half an inch
Yeah.
thick.
Was
it's
it a Sony
absurd.
TV? I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if that TV was like really any good because I didn't
I
see a
think
game running on it. But
frame-
my God,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's incredible. You could 100% hang that on the wall, no
I
problem.
tried to do a roundup at CES of all the
Yeah.
thinnest TVs, but the photos all look terrible because you just see a line. It's like none of this is
Yeah.
interesting to look at, but it's
Banana
amazing.
for scale.
It's just a line.
Marty, where are you sitting in the X,
pretty much
slash 4K TV?
the same
situation?
spot Alana's in. I think the box itself is super cool. Personally, it's the price of that and a 4K TV is not something I'm willing to jump into yet. And that's the whole thing is when we say this is too expensive, we say this is too expensive for me personally.
Oh, it's
I'm not saying-
almost like
there's
saying
no-
it's too expensive for someone who works in games media and lives in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's not like if you live somewhere else that we wouldn't buy it, but it's like it's a lot of money for the economy
and
we
so-
live in.
Yes, exactly. And so, like, if you live rural Midwest and you have a disposable income like when I'm not
Yeah,
telling you not
it's
to
not
buy
like
it,
we're
by
saying
all
it's
means.
too expensive.
Like,
Full stop. It's literally too expensive
me.
personally.
Yeah.
Follow-up for everybody. You're not getting the X. What about the S, which dropped to 200?
I'm actually thinking about getting the S.
Yeah.
That-
And
that's
honestly,
your
the
idea?
reason that I really wanted is for the portability. My Wi-Fi sucks, and it would be awesome if I could just bring it to work, download stuff, and then take it home, and I could do that in a backpack.
Internal power supply. It's smaller and easy to travel.
And I'm correct, right? $200.
well, it dropped. It was
temporarily.
I don't even know. If it's still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, you probably have like the remainder of the month to get it at 200, I guess.
But yeah, my thing was, I mean, I don't know. I've said before that I got to play a bunch of games on the X. We got to play Assassin's Creed on a dev kit, and it looked great.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like, I don't know. Personally, it didn't look $500 great.
And yeah, that's you gotta have. It's like for me, there's no way I would spend that kind of money without also having the 4K TV.
Totally.
Even though again there are benefits, the super sampling and the what have you, but it's just like I'm not even paying $400 for that for a PS4 Pro either.
Yeah.
Well, and like to be clear, like this isn't me being negative on Microsoft's conference because they showed a ton of games I'm going to be playing this fall and next year that I'm stoked about. I mean, I think this E3 was amazing.
Well, I
for
also
games.
thought I thought this was a really good conference in general from Xbox, and I thought that the reveal was good. Like I
I
thought
think
all of
it's
this
the
was
best
good.
Xbox conference in years.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's interestingly, with all due respect to Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 and Crackdown 3 and Forza, the games that were at the conference that made me go, I want to see that on an Xbox One
and
X
The
on a
Last
4K TV.
Artful Escape 100%.
The Artful Escape,
Cuphead.
and Cuphead, and
Last
the
Night.
Last Night.
Yeah.
Those were all
Minecraft.
like, oh, I want to see those.
The Artful Escape is like, I'm 100% playing that on the TV. Like, that game was so pretty. Monty and I played it at PAX East, and it was pretty there.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Hold on, I'm melting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the only piece of feedback I have. I think November 7th is a little bit strange of a launch date because you're missing the September, October window. And then you're going to get those November games. Like, I think Call of Duty comes out in November.
But it comes out before that. It's November 3rd. The
Yes.
only major game I think that is releasing after November 7th is Battlefront.
That's going to change, I would think.
I would. I mean, 'cause as of right now, there's literally 0 games in December, so something will slip.
yeah, so it's just kind of like
but it
you're
is a
buying
little
this
bit-
console after everything's been released.
Totally. Like if you start
Yeah.
if you start buying your fall games with Destiny 2 at the beginning of September, like by the time 2 months rolls around, like you spent a couple $100 on games if you want to keep up on everything.
I wonder if it's a little strategic on Microsoft's part, at least with regard to first-party stuff. Like, let's take Forza 7, for instance. It's going to come out. It comes out a month before the X does.
Yeah. That game looks
The odds are it will review pretty well because that series has an incredible track record at this point. We already know it looks great. Well, I played it on the floor. So they'll sell however many copies they're going to sell in that first month, and then the X comes out, and it could be like, oh, and it sort of it'll bubble back up in the news of like, oh, here's the 4K update, here's Forza 7 and
We're
4K
going to have a lot
60.
of graphics comparisons.
Yeah, and exactly, and they kind of get another PR push out of it, sort of for free in effect. I don't mean that literally monetarily, but in sort of the grand scheme of the
Gonna be part of the conversation.
conversation exactly of Forza 7 will be back in the debate again.
Yeah, totally. And
in a very busy holiday season.
And I also thought it was smart of Microsoft to showcase some of the third-party games like that have already been out for a while. They're going to get those updates with Final Fantasy 15 and Resident Evil 7 because when the PS4 Pro launched and they released updates of oldish games like Mordor and Infamous, like I saw those games running on that TV out there on a PS4 Pro with the update, and they look like stupidly gorgeous.
Yeah, it looked real good.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider, absolutely.
Surprising Sony didn't like drop the Pro. That seems like an easy move.
I was
for them,
surprised
and
by
it
that too.
Didn't happen.
Maybe it'll happen before the end of the year.
I actually genuinely, I was talking to somebody about this, pardon me if it was one of you guys, but I wonder if, because this was sort of our, maybe not just our, but there's a conspiracy theory for 2013 was, did they have an envelope A and an envelope B? I wonder if that happened again, where if they had an envelope B that was, okay, if the Xbox One X is $399, we're gonna do it. We're gonna drop this Pro to $349.
Yeah.
And then that didn't happen, and they went, okay, go with envelope A.
Totally possible.
It's entirely possible. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of the conversation has been polarizing out there on the price.
Yeah.
No one questions the power of the thing. It is a beefy console that can do a lot. It is the most powerful console in the world. For me, it's $500 for a mid-cycle upgrade.
It's tough.
Is a tough pill to swallow, especially when I don't yet know
What's the killer app?
Not only that, because you and I talked about this,
I'm
Destin.
not going to have a killer app because any of your killer apps I'll be able to play on my Xbox.
But I think
Or
what Destin's
PC.
saying, because he and I were talking about this at E3, like Crackdown 3, there's still 4 months of development time, but based on its big re-reveal after 2 years in the dark at E3, it has been sort of positioned alongside Forza as the big sort of signature quote unquote launch title. It played super fun, but it didn't look like a machine that I needed to spend. It didn't look like a game that I needed to spend $500 on a machine to have the best experience with.
They definitely have different visual goals. Forza 7 is like make it look as beautiful as
Yeah.
you possibly can, and Crackdown is just like make the gameplay excellent.
Yeah.
So,
But that's
Same thing with Crackdown. I love those kinds of games. I love Prototype. I love Infamous. I love Saints Row 4. Like, I'm going to love that game.
Oh, yeah.
But that trailer did not sell that game to me, which is weird. Like, I know I'm going to love it.
I played it twice. Actually, I guess just real
E3 this year.
two different things. Actually, real quick to finish my other point about the X is I'm still waiting to see. Yes, it's a more powerful console, unequivocally. Will third-party games take advantage of that power at all? Or are we going to see? Because I mean, we have to take a step back. PS4 is far and away the market leader. Whatever a developer might do for the Pro, PS4 Pro, are they? You got a 60 million installed base on the PlayStation side of things. Are they going? And not that the Xbox installed base is anything to sneeze at, but are they going to take the time to wring that extra power out of the X, or are they just going to basically ship the same version that ships for PS4 Pro? Because that would also make $499 a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
So I want to wait and see. Yeah. I want to see what happens.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think Destiny did a lot for the PlayStation 4. I think the alpha and the beta were there first. They had the exclusive content, and with this Anthem announcement being exclusively revealed on Xbox stage, if that is a relationship play,
Oh,
on
it
Microsoft's
sure
part,
seems like it's
and
going to be a
they're
marketing
make
deal.
that their Destiny.
They are.
Then
Yes.
Destiny's going to have competition. I think you can see players going to the Xbox to play.
I would bet a week's worth of In-N-Out lunches that Anthem will not ship in 2018. They said fall 2018. It is a huge Destiny-ish game. No way that ships fall 2018. That's where and that's fine if I want it to be great. I'm just saying the scope and complexity of that game, even based on the little snippet we saw, I got to figure that bad boy is 2019 sometime.
There was a fantastic breakdown about how that game runs, and like, yes, this is actually running in engine by Digital Foundry. Did it?
Oh,
And,
yeah.
they are checkerboarding. The game up, but geez, like that game looks
That's fine.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. The checkerboarding stuff mostly looks great.
Oh yeah, I'm not
As opposed to
saying
native,
that in
yeah.
a negative
I didn't.
negative connotation or anything. I'm just saying, yeah, it's checkerboard. Some people are concerned with that. It still looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you compare that to Destiny's evolution to 2, it feels similar. So people who are playing Destiny, who are into that genre, or are looking to Anthem as like the evolution.
The character faces and the facial animation stuff.
Feedback
was
to
so
Anthem
good
has
in
been
it.
really positive as well.
Almost universally
Yeah.
positive based on
Like
the
a fan
4
list
minute
of people like
thing.
listing their most excited. I saw Anthem
Yeah.
is number 1 for a lot of people, but
Yep.
I wanted to say in terms of exclusives, we cannot forget PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I think that is a
I
huge
did not see
get.
that coming.
Yeah.
I think that can sell Xbox Ones. I straight up think that it
I agree with you. Yeah, and I'll tell you, I was in and out of the Microsoft booth all week, and they only had a couple of stations, but there were lines every time I walked by.
It
there
is
were
an
big
incredibly
lines for
popular
that.
game that I'm sure will come to PS4, but the idea that it is coming to Xbox One first, people are going to be
Yeah.
playing the hell out of it and talking about it constantly, and people are going to want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and it'll be cool to have the Xbox Live features around that game.
Yeah.
You know, party chat is again, these are things that, of course, you can do them on PC, but with the Xbox having the party chat stuff built in and looking for groups built in and clubs built in, like the Xbox should be a great place
Also,
to play that
I
game.
made a little bit of fun of it during the conference because it was advertised so aggressively, but Mixer is also actually incredibly
It's a
impressive
great.
tech.
It is.
It's like the fastest.
It's one of the only streaming services
no
where-
latency.
Exactly. And
Well,
that's,
it's like
that's
2
amazing. And for
Yeah.
that game, that is great. And you can just stream
Yes.
something on Mixer and it automatically shares it to every single person who's following you on
Yeah.
Xbox. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's
in fact,
awesome.
I saw a Mixer demo at GDC, and it was back when it was called Beam.
Beam.
Yeah.
And it was super impressive.
Yeah. And I think that paired with PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is just like,
Or stuff like
Excellent.
Sea of Thieves, like
Sea of
these games
Thieves,
that are going
yeah.
to
Yeah,
create
and
these stories.
I've been streaming to Mixer. It's a really cool service.
yeah.
They're
I
trying to
honestly
do
think
some
when
neat
Sea of Thieves
stuff.
comes out that we should stream it. We should stream straight on Mixer, straight on
the
Xbox.
rare guys were talking like because we floated that idea like we wanted to do the show from inside
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves. They loved that idea, so we're just
We went and played it again this year, and it continues to be absolutely incredible.
separately from because I played it. Actually, I don't think I was with any of you guys because I was playing at the showcase. So
Yeah.
yes, please share your Sea of Thieves experience.
Oh, well,
from
we played
this.
it with Steve Butts, who's the editor-in-chief.
Boss man.
Yeah. And I don't even know how to recount what happened. That we had encounters with sharks.
Yeah, it was just it felt like the same sort of silly playground that we had last year, except there's more defined goals this year. Like that's sort of been the big thing.
yeah. But the thing with Sea of Thieves for me is that the times that I've played it, I don't want to stop playing.
Yeah.
Like I so badly don't want that to end because
Yeah.
it's just so much fun. You're like, there's a part where our ship was sinking, and I just decided to try to like get the water out, but just dump it on the floor above. It was like,
Like, that's not how you get water.
This didn't work very well.
The water's
That's what Eric Sapp kept doing.
Yeah,
like, you
Sapp-
have to bring it out of the
the
ship.
water's- yeah.
we did a lot of
Bail
the
the
cannon
water.
stuff where we
Yeah.
would get in the cannon and like try and aim ourselves at
Yeah.
something, and you can like aim the cannon before you jump in it,
Yes.
and then
How
jump
do
in it. And
how do you get in the cannon?
You just jump it.
You just have to
literally
go to the
front of
the
it.
front of it, like sort of
okay.
yeah.
And there can't be a ball in it.
yeah, and
right.
then there was
Unload it.
combat as well. And I think the gun's really interesting in that it's actually slow.
Yeah.
So it makes enemies kind of frantic and intimidating, which I think the rest of the game is. I think it's a very
And
frantic game.
You can only take at least from the skeletons or other players. You can only take like maybe 3 hits and
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
So
And it has like an interesting sort of like cartography aspect, like a baby Miasmata in a good way, where like
Kind
we
of.
had to literally look at our compass and the map and the way the wind was blowing. And
Yeah.
then when we got to the actual island, we had to solve this riddle for buried treasure by finding
Yeah.
an X and then walking a certain amount of paces. Like
Yeah.
it felt very
There
So
are a lot
good.
of steps to like figuring out where the treasure is. Like all of that required multiple people's input.
Mm-hmm.
But we also, we're just like trying to find the next island for the next mission we were doing, and ended up seeing an enemy ship or another player. And we were like, all right, let's stealth this. And just like
Yeah, we
kinda
doused
crept-
all the lanterns.
Yeah, we
Nice.
turned everything off and like kind of crept around this corner until we finally got to them. And then someone, I think, accidentally let off a cannon. They're like, well, they know we're here now.
Yeah,
so
someone definitely did
this
that.
is fine.
We don't know who did
that. Was,
that.
that was
we
definitely-
in my session it was me and some other IGN folks, and we'd gone to an island. We didn't follow the riddle one. We just followed a treasure map,
Yeah.
a straight treasure map. So we get to the island. You're talking about the cartography stuff, Marty. So I'm looking. I'm trying to lead the group.
Yeah.
Because I was the one that had played before last year. None of the rest of them had played. So I was like, all right, I'll sort of captain this. And we're looking. Okay, it's the northeast part of the map. Okay, there's the sun, and we ended up. And finally, somebody's like, I think it's like literally where we landed, like where we
walked all the way around.
and that's exactly what had turned out. By sheer coincidence, we'd landed on the spot. So we just came all the way back around. And as soon as we stuck our shovels in the ground, like,
Kind of.
woo! Like that's an awesome feeling
Yeah.
when you dig in and you see that the top of the
Yeah,
chest.
and because you can dig for a really long time as well. Like, be like, all right, it's got to be in one of these areas, but it is really specific.
And I like that multiple people digs it up faster
Yeah.
in case there's something going on.
Take
And
it all back to your ship.
then real quick, Dessa, we get the treasure back onto the ship, put it down in the hold below, and so then we're heading to the outpost to just cash it in and get our gold, get our reward. And we're sailing and we're getting close, so it's kind of like just to our right is the outpost. Like, okay, we can go cash this in, but then equidistant, just to the left was an enemy ship, was a ship, and we were just like. We were so torn. Like, do we engage these guys? It would be super fun because we all know from last year how fun it is to engage in ship-to-ship combat. But if we lose, our treasure sinks, or they get it.
yeah.
So we ended up just like because we'd seen the ship stuff last year. We're like, we haven't seen what it's like to go cash in treasure. So we went back and did that. But it was just this cool decision
Fork in
moment.
the road. Yeah.
It was like, oh, what do we do? They had to peel me off of that game.
I
again.
love it so much.
Yeah.
I still really want a main quest, and I want that. I want to be able to play it by myself. That's something that I still care about. But the thing is, we've spoken about it so many times. I'm sure they also think that. Like, there's no way that Rare hasn't considered that people.
I had sorry, Des. You know what? I've been cutting you off a couple times. Go ahead.
Oh, it was my first time playing it, actually.
Yeah.
So I did what you guys described last year. I got very drunk. And then for most of my demo, I drank and puked on the driver of the boat just to troll him. It was so much fun.
Good job.
And then, like, when things started going to hell because half of our ship was blown up by an enemy ship, I'm like, all right, I'll contribute. And I stopped turning the sails the wrong way. And I went downstairs and I helped bail out the boat and I started patching up the boat. And it was still a blast, playing with the team.
Literally, even when you're bailing water out of a boat, it's still somehow fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's
because
so
Eric's doing it wrong. And I'm like, you have to run it out here. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
Very charming.
Yeah. And so actually, I had the next day after playing it, I had a one-on-one behind closed doors meeting with Craig Duncan, the studio head at Rare. And actually, I decided, because we had talked a lot last year when we finally got to play the game. Because we've been, it's been like 2 years that we've all been excited about this game.
Yeah,
the reveal was
been an
fierce.
early access effectively for a really long time.
Yeah, and so, like I've spoken to Craig a few times now, and so I kind of got into it with him. I don't mean like in an argumentative sense, but it was just a one-on-one behind closed doors, and we were talking. I was actually kind of pressing him on that, like, because so I kept saying, is there, like, I'm old with a job that keeps me busy and a kid to raise. Like, I don't have the time to sort of. I love the idea of sandbox games where sort of the players are the ones driving what to do and the fun to be had. But it's like, I'm just at a point in my life where I respect the hell out of that, but I don't have time for that. Mm-hmm. I want, like, it can be there, but I need there to be some sort of directed element that professional game designers have just tailored a nice experience for me. Exactly what you're saying. And so I was sort of pressing him on that, and he kind of kept saying, oh, well, you'll make your own adventure. And I was like, but that sounds like you're saying there's no main quest. And he was non-committal one way or the other. There's still, we've talked about how they seem to be developing this game very deliberately and sort of building.
It makes me nervous when people say that now. You can make your own adventure because no man's said that.
And I'm right with you. And that's the thing. So I think there's sort of, it's the sense I got was that Rare is kind of evaluating all that now. And they're just building, we saw last year they'd built this much with the ship stuff, and this year they had that, plus they built a bunch more on top of that.
Yeah.
And then, the next time we see it, they'll have built a bunch more on top of that.
I think it's called the Insider Program, where you can play it inside it. So one thing that they're doing that I think is really cool is for the people who are currently in that program, they're basically shaping the world around those people. There was this one guy who apparently was trying to just test fall damage, and so would just keep jumping off of heights over and over and over again. And when they recognized that he had been doing that, they put a little gravestone with a skeleton like half out of the ground and put his gamer tag on it.
Like feet sticking out of the ground, I think it
so
was.
it's like they actually have been using people in that program to build the
Which
final
feels
game.
like that almost reminds me of WoW, how they have like player memorials in WoW.
Yeah.
I really like that sort of
it's really
feedback
cool.
loop. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope there are quests that take you to multiple islands, like big extended quests and smaller quests, and hopefully some sort of overarching.
I mean, I asked about NPCs, and they said there would be NPCs. Like, there's going to be a lot of characters we love. But then, thinking about, obviously, we all tend to want this main quest, but it's like, are we just old? Like, people who play Minecraft and love Minecraft don't care about that kind of stuff.
But even that's true.
It's
but
worked for
why not
Minecraft.
have both?
Yeah.
Why not have both?
They
That's
don't-
all.
They not need it. Like, I agree. I want that, but
What other games does it work for where you don't have any main quest goals and it's turned out pretty well?
Stuff
Besides
like
Minecraft.
Rust and all those sort of Conan Exiles and those the big
yeah.
survival games.
yeah.
Which is
I mean, Conan Exiles, like level up, power up your character. It's a power
Right.
fantasy, right?
and
Yeah,
build.
Conan Exiles is also
Same
more
with Rust.
survival. But I mean, I think it can work, and I think it could work for Sea of Thieves really well. It just isn't necessarily for us,
Yeah.
which sucks because I want it to be for me. 100%.
Yeah, so I remain more enthusiastic than ever about Sea of Thieves. I do still I don't want to say have concerns, but there's still things in it that I want to see before I
The weird thing is,
like fully embrace it.
The thing is, with that game, I think that I'm so happy to even have played it for the hour in total that I have. And I think when it comes out, I'm going to love it no matter what. I'm so glad this thing exists and I have so much fun playing it. I just don't know how long I'm going to play it for.
We will 100% start an unlocked club.
For sure.
For this game.
Yeah.
That's so you can make sure you're always, because that's one thing. Like I've noticed a lot of the comments. So I wrote a preview piece this year after I felt compelled to. I had such a good time again. And, a lot of the comments were similar to what I've seen throughout our coverage of this game so far is it doesn't look that fun, which
so fun.
It is a game you have as soon as you play it, you get it.
Yeah.
You said that to me, and I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. And I totally understand what you're saying. Like once you play it, if you're in the preview program, take a chance and try it out with some friends.
And the other common thing I've seen as well, it seems like it's, I'm out because this doesn't look like you're going to be able to have fun. It's going to be any good by yourself. That's probably true. Like I'm sort of conceding that point. I don't think this is
moving your ship.
I don't think it's going to be any good by yourself.
I heard that they are making smaller ships so that you can go out by yourself.
That would be great.
Yeah, they said you could have like a little dinghy.
Yeah, so that you can control everything that you would need to.
Yeah,
I said dinghy before. Just kidding.
But that's
Don't
at least
ever say I said dinghy to me in like a weird little voice.
Yeah, we'll start.
I was happy.
We'll start the club, the unlocked club, and we'll make sure that anyone listening, watching this,
Everyone gets a
including
dinghy.
us, by the way, has cool people to play with.
Yeah.
All the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully at least be able to alleviate that. What else? What else in the first party? We covered Crackdown a little bit.
State of Decay.
State of Decay. I think was I the only one that
good?
saw it behind closed
Yeah,
doors?
I
I was on. Yeah, I didn't see BCD. I was on the live show panel though.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick, I wrote a preview. Please read it on IGN. If you just Google IGN State of Decay 2,
I'm just cold. I'm not angry.
it's fine.
It's cold in here.
It's always cold.
It's the name of my
Yeah.
mixtape.
Yeah, it's very much a sequel in the traditional sense. It is a bigger, better, more game. Sometimes that's boring and dumb. I think it works. It seems like it's going to be great for this because the original game just laid down it just nailed all the systems. So just building on those, refining those, polishing those.
Yeah,
Adding 4-player co-op.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and adding to the sort of the system of emotional and psychological
Yes.
quirks. Like I love that.
Yeah, the UI is totally redone. Not that it was horrible in the first game, but yeah, it just seems like
More AAA.
it's a more AAA $60 version versus the $20 original. So that's not sexy, and some people are going to be disappointed to hear that, but I think it's it's very much on the right track.
Yeah.
What else?
I can't think of any other first parties. Like, what are we? Super Lucky Say.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps. There was that
that
trailer.
looks
Just
so
we talked
beautiful.
about. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, that montage was really great. Like halfway through, where they showed they sort of took the playbook from what 360 did back in the day and what PS4 was doing earlier in the generation of showing a handful of really cool smaller games that I'm absolutely stoked. I mean, Tacoma got its release date. Cuphead.
Yes.
I feel like the idea at Xbox has always had a segment.
Yes.
Yeah,
conferences.
and
It's
I feel like for a
it was
couple of
just-
years it wasn't nearly as strong as what
Well, the
Sony
thing
was
is that
doing.
they would
and
just do
then
2
Sony's-
seconds and snap between them so fast. But
Sony's pumped the brakes on it, so they've sort of reclaimed that throne.
yeah,
Yeah.
focusing on those indies.
The other, this was definitely a smaller thing, but how about the surprise of Super Lucky's Tale?
Yeah,
That looks
Being
great.
a Microsoft published game.
It was originally a VR title.
It's
was
Oculus
Oculus.
exclusive,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
Lucky's
it was
Tale.
great on Oculus as well.
It really is.
It's super cute, and I think that it looks like it's almost exactly the same game.
but obviously
But
it's
just
totally
not
reworked.
VR.
So I did confirm it is totally a new game.
Oh,
It is
interesting.
not just like a port of the VR.
I feel like
game.
that would be really hard to do. To port it.
Well, the
yeah.
levels, but no, it's a new game. Yeah, I played it for a few minutes on the X at the showcase.
Character looks nothing like Tails, just so everybody knows.
Well, Conquer is the other one that's
Yeah.
but yeah, it's. I think it's just great to see a colorful, old school, all ages appropriate platformer
It was
on
nice.
Xbox.
totally.
It was definitely nice to see that. I remember when Cameo was revealed.
Yes.
Back on the 360, and they showed off how many enemies they could have on the screen and everything. It was nice to see something like that for that age demographic on the Xbox stage. It's like, hey, look, we still make these games like that without overdoing it, like with the Connectables demo. I think
Yeah.
I think they struck a really good balance with this.
What was
this
what was
showcase.
was it the tiger's name, or what was the
don't
pet's
remember.
name? That girl that became a meme for a little while.
Yeah.
With Connectimals. You guys remember this?
Giant enemy crab.
No.
It was not giant.
That was Sony $599 attacking crab for massive damage. Different thing. Different
Completely
thing.
unrelated.
We're not dead on the
The
inside.
Connect, bam, there it is.
Yeah. Anyway,
I want to listen to that montage.
the indies. These were so strong.
Yeah. Oh,
you just sort of started to get into it, Marty. Unbelievably strong
Yeah.
on Microsoft this year.
We got a lot of exclusive, but it just says Xbox
Console launch
exclusive.
exclusive.
Console launch exclusives and exclusive gameplay reveals. They were very
So
tricky
we
with their
effectively have
wording.
almost no complete exclusives. There's not. I mean, there's maybe 4, but I think all of the indies will come to PlayStation eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a problem either.
It doesn't. Whatever.
So, like,
They're-
Artful Escape, that was that a launch? I don't remember.
That's
Like,
the launch
that was a console launch
exclusive.
exclusive.
Yep.
And that
Which
game
was
is
which
When you
translating.
play guitar and like a platform, it's super
it's
interesting.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's somewhere. I think that's like. It's like they crawled into Tim Schafer's brain while Tim Schafer was dropping acid.
Well, Marty's
that's
thing
what
is
came out.
it's David Bowie meets Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
And I think that's totally right.
Well,
That's
that's
really
a
cool.
more
It also has, like,
hoity-toity
dialogue.
magazine writer, Rolling Stone kind of way of putting it. Yes,
But it's true. It also has like dialogue options that are really witty, and I think there's going to be a really interesting story there.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who made it is like one of the most excitable developers I think I've ever
Yeah.
met. He's also Australian, so shout out to
Bias.
rooting for the home team. in
yeah.
that one.
It looks great.
Yeah, they also showed Ashen, which is also Annapurna Games.
Brendan Graber wrote a
Console
preview on
TV.
IGN.
Yeah.
Please read it.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yep.
Tacoma's coming out in early August. We have Cuphead at the end of September. No Below.
Uh,
A lot of people were tweeting me about that.
Yeah.
Like, is Below there? No,
Eh.
it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, really solid. Like we mentioned last night, just a really solid mix of games.
You and I think we're talking about this, Destin. The last night looks like Blade Runner with
looks-
pixel
100%.
art, and then also for fellow olds out there, Flashback from the Genesis age.
Old.
Yeah, that's what it
it's-
reminds me of in a
it
really
looks
really good way.
awesome. I'm very excited to play that on the big TV in 4K.
Yes,
It looks super
on an
cool.
X.
Absolutely
look
looks like Blade
gorgeous.
Runner.
So good.
Yeah.
Anything else from E3? Or we kind of did we?
I feel like you're
Air it
asking
out.
us at a point where we're all just like mentally exhausted. You're
Well,
like,
I'm
what
just
else
trying
is
to
there?
make
I'm
sure
like,
we
should
didn't
ask
miss
me this in
anything. I mean,
advance.
well, how
I'm
about
on-
I guess real quick, original Xbox backwards compatibility. What do you guys want to see? I started to get into this at the top.
Well, they said
Fable
no.
TLC.
They said no to achievements, right? So they said these are.
Did they? Because
believe so.
I asked Phil that day, and he just kind of, I don't want to say dodged the question. He just didn't give me
Sure.
a firm answer
Yeah.
one way or the other. But that they told someone else no.
I believe so. Yeah.
I mean, I would expect no, but
Yeah. Yeah.
would have been a nice bonus. But
There was this series that a lot of people really enjoyed on the original Xbox called Halo. I'd really like to see Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think we got Halo 1 and 2 already. Just
Yeah, I
fine.
feel like we have those. So
The Splinter Cells. I can't remember what I made a list, Ryan, and it's on the 300 planning
I mean,
doc.
well, like you said, the Bioware games,
All the
KOTOR and Jade
superhero
Empire,
games. There's a
Fable,
ton of fantastic
Yeah.
superhero
I'll
games.
just say it
Fable's a
the
great
third
one.
time. Fable TLC. Thank you.
the second best Fable game,
Best Fable game. Thank you.
Original Fable would be really cool to play again
Fable Tender Love and Care,
if we're not getting that
That's what it is.
remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Blinks.
Links.
I want to. I want Jet
I
Set.
think he
I want
brought
Jet Set
you
Radio
up.
Phil
Future.
can wave
I
his
think he
magic.
brought you up on
absolutely
Giant
Jet Set
Bombs
Radio
thing.
Future.
Yeah.
Some
Also,
people
Brute
like
Force.
Blinks.
Brute Force. Yeah.
Big fan.
Brute Force? Really?
I knew you'd make fun of me when I said it. That's why I said it.
I overrated that game so much in hindsight.
Well, I have like a soft spot for that game because
not bad.
Well, my sister and I, when I was younger, played games together all the time, and then we kind of hit this fork where she stopped playing and I kept playing.
Mm-hmm.
And Brute Force was the last co-op game we finished together. So it's like I have like this thing for Brute Force where I'm like, yeah, it was when my sister still played games with me.
The game that broke Digital Anvil, that studio,
Yeah.
did not survive that game.
Looking forward to the show.
Yeah. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Also, the original Xbox version of Splinter Cell Double Agent, which Montreal made.
Way different than.
It was a complete, like the same story, but a totally different
Yeah.
game,
was
and
actually
arguably the better game.
Yeah.
So that would be on my list.
Basically, all the superhero
Mech
games
Assault would be great.
for me.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
1,
Star Wars
2 was
games.
kind of not as great.
Otogi.
Otogi is fantastic. Of course, Ninja Gaiden Black.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lana
Yeah.
alluded to at the top of the
Important
or before we went on the air.
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Yes, another good one. Jet Set.
Jet Set.
Yeah, we said Jet Set.
Burnout 1, 2, 3, Revenge, Spider-Man 1
Of
and 2,
course.
X-Men Legends,
Thank
Conquer,
you.
Elder Scrolls 3,
No.
Fable 1 and 2,
You gotta stop.
Indigo Prophecy.
We don't need Conquer.
Jade
Conquer's
Empire,
already on Rare Replay.
Jet Set
But not
Radio,
the good version, not the
Legacy of King
reloaded.
Defiance, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Panzer Dragoon,
Capcom
Phantasy
presents.
Star
I'll come back to
Online,
this.
Marvel
Prince
Comics.
of Persia, Project Gotham Racing, Psychonauts,
Oh, I love
Shenmue
Project
2,
Sands
Gotham
of
Racing.
Time.
Silent Hill 2, Soul Calibur 2, Thief, Tiger Woods 2005 personal game that I really like.
What?
Rainbow Six and Tony Hawk games.
All very
the
good.
Tony Hawk
All
games.
very good.
I like a
Rainbow
lot of
Six also
those.
rules.
Yeah. But Burnout, man. You forgot Burnout.
I did. Burnout
Yeah.
3 specifically.
Yeah.
Because
Revenge.
I mean, 1 did no. Forget 1. They hadn't figured out how to make that it was.
It was
Burnout
still
yet.
cool.
2, okay, why not? But that was the problem with that. Phil was talking to me about this during our one-on-one. That was an Acclaim game. Acclaim is dead. So he was even saying like that's stuff like that's going to be really difficult to hash out. But 3 is after EA bought them.
Yeah.
3 100%
The best
needs to happen. Yeah.
What's the last
that one
Project
and
Gotham
Revenge.
Racing? That would have been 3?
Revenge
well, 4.
was on both.
4
Four?
for 360.
360, right.
But yeah. Yeah.
Kudos, man. I was all about that.
Yes. Absolutely. So Conquer.
Yeah.
You Marty.
Yeah.
It's so the version that's in Rare Replay is the N64
Is it?
version. I prefer the
Live and
Xbox
Reloaded.
Live and because I know this is gonna sound dumb. You're all gonna laugh at me.
You like the fur?
The fur shading is amazing.
Fur's really
in that
good.
game. It, like
Very
that
good
game
fur.
looks incredible. Look at it now. Go look at it on YouTube. Other than it being a 4:3 480p image,
Yeah.
it looks incredible.
A+ fur.
Yeah.
You were a PGR guy, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I feel like Forza, especially particularly Horizon.
But there
I
were
don't
systems back
necessarily-
in PGR that don't.
I mean, PGR was awesome. It's just that,
Too old.
I don't know where it exists now.
It'd be like porting Tiger Woods 2005.
Exactly.
But I like PGR, you could like buy all your cars and you would buy different garages and you could place all your cars in like what order you wanted. And then you could go play, like there was arcade games in your office. You could just like, it was super cool.
Yeah.
They were
Wasn't
really
that
good
with
games.
first Geometry Wars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PGR
3.
3. Thank you.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think Geometry Wars 2 was in 4.
In 4, yeah.
So basically, if you don't understand why I like Tiger Woods,
'cause it
go
was
play
So back to Tiger Woods.
Go play Grand Theft Auto 5 because the golf in Grand Theft Auto 5 is basically Tiger Woods 2005.
I have
It-
this
it's
guy
pretty
that I'm friends with on
crazy.
Xbox Live who just plays tennis games. All
in
of them.
GTA or
No, like just
Like
in
Top
general,
Spin?
all of them are and he has so many. Like there's
Yeah.
just so many tennis games. It's amazing.
Shame him.
I don't think it's a king.
Could be a kink.
Anyway.
Not shaming him anyway. It's just a surprising amount of tennis games.
Sounds like shame.
when I went through the list, there were way more titles that I liked. Sorry, I had to segue from your.
Oh
Yeah.
no, please
Kink
segue
thing.
away from that. Get right out of that.
Get us out of here.
But yeah, there were a ton of great games with the licensing problems. Unfortunately, the ones that I want, we might not see, but we
Yeah.
might see Jade Empire.
Yeah.
You know,
Could-
stuff like that.
See,
we might
not
see
only
some of the fantastic
KOTOR and Jade Empire.
Yeah.
So those are totally plausible, especially Jade Empire because that's
Bioware.
it not only BioWare owned by EA, they have a good relationship with Microsoft,
They're doing the Anthem thing, so
but they have Jade Empire was re-released on iPad.
Yeah.
So it's like they're clearly they still care a little bit
acknowledge
about
that
the
the
IP.
game exists.
Yeah. So and even the same thing, KOTOR, EA owns BioWare,
Yep.
who also has the Star Wars license now.
Yeah.
it's
So
true.
that KOTOR could 100% happen. That would be fantastic.
awesome.
So good. All right. That's enough of E3, I think. Hopefully we covered it all. It was a great E3 this year.
It was.
It was really fun. Yeah, I wonder hopefully if Phil is listening, he's taken some of the notes on your backwards compatibility list.
Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Come on, you can make it happen. One of the best Hulk games
Fable
ever.
TLC.
Well, it's
Or just fix Fable Anniversary. That'd be fine too.
They basically redid it.
That's
on
not backwards
360,
compatible
so-
either. Thank you.
Hulk.
Yeah,
They redid. What do you mean?
it's the same game basically.
They did?
Yeah.
What's it called on? What's the 360?
It's like the Incredible Hulk,
I'm
wasn't
not
it?
sure about that.
Anyway, Ultimate Destruction
yeah,
is fantastic.
it was.
Yeah.
That's regarded as like an amazing game. So let's leave it at that. Okay.
Superhero
So
games.
to the
I love 'em.
news.
Yeah. God, it's late. Oh man. Real quick
At least
here.
number one.
Io Interactive. This is a substantial news story. We should just take a few minutes if you're tuning in here on our breakout segment. Be sure to watch the full episode because we do this all day. This is this is what we do. Let's talk about IO Interactive. Square had sort of parted ways with them, saying, we're thanks but no thanks as far as working together in the future. This and IO has reclaimed their independence as a studio, and they've managed to secure the Hitman IP, which is huge.
Yeah.
That does not happen very often where a big
How that
corporation
happened,
is willing to let an IP go.
Especially Hitman.
Yeah.
it seemed to be doing well for Square too, which is crazy.
There are films. I mean, it
Well,
seems
it's-
like that was
it's incredibly well known, but like I've said this before, I think releasing Hitman episodically was a bad idea for sales.
Maybe.
we don't know.
It's great. Also, the first episode I think is free right now.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That is, which just seems like a really smart move by IO. It's like they're independent. They
Well,
own the IP.
They're tweeting like super excitedly. They're like, "Look what we did!
Yeah.
Everyone play it!" Like,
They don't have to.
It's cool.
They don't have to answer to the corporate overlord anymore.
Yeah.
They can do whatever the heck they want.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. Yeah, it's a smart way to like, hey, we're free now. We own this IP. It's the most valuable thing we currently have. Yeah, I'm sure they could start up something new, of course, but here, everybody play it for free. Get into it.
And
And
indie
then,
having Hitman is huge. Like,
Yeah.
that's amazing for them.
I don't know enough about IO, Ryan. Are they big enough to make a AAA Hitman game?
This
they
is
were.
AAA Hitman.
Yeah, I mean, the episodic one was, and they've been making AAA Hitman games for their entire.
So without Square backing,
Studios
you think
exist.
they'd be fine to make another awesome Hitman title?
They'd have to find the money for it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't even pretend to know if they have rich guys that are owners of the company or if they have venture capitalists backing, or
think they
I don't know.
They try and get it from Xbox or Sony.
Well, and that's I wanted to bring
my
this up. Is, should Microsoft look to buy IO or at least partner with them?
Yes.
Microsoft has a perceived first party portfolio problem. Points for alliteration to me on that. I don't think Hitman secured exclusively sells consoles.
Unless
No disrespect to Hitman, but it certainly adds it's a nice addition to the portfolio if Microsoft did straight buy the studio or sign a deal. And a lot of people, when I tweeted this, people were mad at me like, why would you want to take that away from Steam players or PS4 players? Like, I don't want to take anything away. I'm just suggesting there is a prominent free agent that has just hit the market. Microsoft has a need. If they wanted to write the check big enough, they could fill that need.
And it would hit Windows.
I kind of wouldn't be surprised if somebody's already approached them about it.
Oh, I'm sure they're
probably
negotiating.
and I
and
doubt
Microsoft.
it's Microsoft. I'm sure Sony would have as well.
I mean, I almost see it more as a mid-tier publisher going at them, like Gearbox.
yeah.
Gearbox has sort of got aggressive. with
505,
games of this size,
somebody like that.
505, Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah, I
be
can
surprised
see
if a
that.
first party, one of the first parties went to them, but I could totally see one of those other studios we mentioned.
I think it's a big enough IP that if handled correctly, could be a major win for Xbox or Sony, whoever gets them. But I'll be interested to see what happens.
Well, I'd sort of specifically thought of Xbox. Not only obviously we're doing an Xbox show here, but
Seems smart.
Phil has talked about wanting to eventually build Xbox Game Pass up into, following the Netflix model of having original content debut in there. And
episodic
IO
Hitman
just got
would
done
fit nicely.
making season 1 of a really good episodic Hitman game. So that seems to be a natural fit. But yeah, I wonder, you'd have to imagine that Phil has at least picked up the phone.
Yeah.
If not, if they're not even further along in talks than that.
Regardless, IO has to be ecstatic to get their IP back and just have kind of free reign to handle it the way
Yes.
that they want to. Just kudos to them.
Yeah.
So
it's great
again, I'm
news.
going to say it again. Hitman is great. You should absolutely check it out. It's super fun, tons of freedom. It's very hard. I loved it.
And it is very open ended in the way
yeah.
that the OG Hitmans were, and like Splinter Cell
And
Chaos
just
Theory was.
incredibly replayable.
Yeah,
in
super
that-
sandboxy.
And there's a lot of like incentives for you to do things in different ways because you get rewards and you can unlock stuff by completing things. And one of the coolest things is that players can actually create challenges. So like they will give you a challenge in a level and you have to kill like a certain 2 people, and sometimes it'll be incredibly hard, but the player who submits it has to have done it themselves.
Nice.
So it has to be
Oh,
possible,
it's
but
like Mario Maker.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. But it's
With
it,
murder.
It means that there's just tons and tons of options in every single level and tons of different things to do. It's a really good game.
Like Mario Maker, but with more murder.
Mario Maker has a ton of murder.
Quote me.
Murder
Like
Maker.
Mario
There dies so much in Mario Maker.
All right. Halo 6 will not be revealed anytime soon, says
shocked.
343 Industries. Yeah, given that E3 just happened, that's a bombshell. But no, it's A writer at 343 named Jeff Easterling said, while there's little to nothing that can be said on that front, meaning announcement front, it has been made clear that we won't be talking about Halo's next major title for quite some time. And no, that doesn't mean Gamescom or PAX. Trust us, when we're ready to begin pulling back that proverbial curtain, you'll know it won't be soon.
AKA, they are rewriting things.
No, stop it.
So-
stop floating conspiracy theories out there.
They're changing
Why
the
are-
game.
Better to stop
Why are
it.
they talking so much about this stuff?
Well, they
because
keep
people
getting
keep
asked.
asking.
Yeah, people keep asking.
Don't say anything. Like, it's going to be not a
Well,
surprise
it's-
if they keep
to be,
saying,
to
don't
be
expect
fair,
anything.
it's a really difficult position for 343 to be in because everyone knows they're making Halo 6.
Of course.
But they can't say anything because, there's a whole... I mean, my point about this is I'm not surprised. 'Cause the E3's or Halo's past, mainline Halos,
Yeah.
we've gotten the tease 2 years before, or the year and a half before, 2 E3s before, I guess would be the way to phrase it. Like the cloak in the desert tone thing,
I liked that.
which was great.
This is great. Punch.
But we didn't get that this year, obviously, and
Have to rewrite the game because
Damn it,
people
Alana.
didn't like
They're doing
Halo
rewrites,
5.
I mean, they confirmed they're doing rewrites, didn't they?
I mean, they're just
no,
writing the
now we're all stop it.
They're
Everyone's
just
making
writing
things
the
up.
game.
They're just
No, I
everyone
really think
stop.
that they'd probably written a lot of it, like even going into 5, and then the reaction with Locke was really bad, and now they're like, we have to change this.
Well, that may have happened, but that wouldn't have had anything to do with there not being a trailer of some sort at this year.
Because you
So
can
I
throw the
didn't expect
poncho
it this
thing, and
year.
it doesn't need to be in the
Right.
final game.
I think.
Or the bubble shield.
I mean, I'm thinking along with you in that. I think they're holding back longer than they traditionally do with a mainline Halo as far as saying anything.
Amazing.
Because of the poor reception to Halo 5's story and campaign, I think they've got to have something substantial and awesome to show for whenever that time comes. I've made a maybe hyperbolic statement before, but I think Halo 6 is a
Make or
critical
break.
junction for the franchise. Not from the multiplayer standpoint. It can be an esport forever because the multiplayer is unbelievable. But for Halo as a absolute quadruple A game, as the king of the Xbox portfolio, if they screw this one up, they're in on the way I think they did with Halo 5. They're in. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're in real bad shape. So I think they have to wait until they have a very far along, super wow-filled demonstration of some sort that they can knock everybody's socks off with.
Yeah. So I think they know they nailed multiplayer. So that's they know what to do there.
They're still supporting it. So
Yes.
Yeah, and they're still
Brilliantly.
supporting it.
Free.
And I think for 6, they're just like, this needs to be phenomenal. Like, it has to be a ridiculously great experience campaign-wise.
It's not even that 5 was necessarily a bad experience. It's just not what people wanted. And that's the thing that I think they need to change. It's got to be about Chief. Right?
Internally at 343, they got to be taking it kind of personal. They care deeply about this franchise.
course.
Yeah.
And I bet they're just like, we misstepped. We're going to do it better and correct with the sequel.
Yeah, I also think this is going to be a reveal where if the game's revealed at E3 2018,
It's
the
out.
game comes out in fall of 2018. So they're going to do the 5-month lead.
Bethesda.
When I say
Bethesda.
correct, by the way, I just mean like with the marketing sort of
Get on the
You
same
mean
page.
what-
Yeah,
with
what
your
exactly.
marketing
fans
team.
want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little jarring.
My hope, and let me caveat this: I don't know how game development really works, but my hope is that maybe not hope. I wonder if the development team at 343, if Halo 6's multiplayer will be fundamentally similar to 5's, maybe even like kind of carry over
Sean says it's like perfect.
and sort of be more or less a map pack and the same core multiplayer, and maybe most of 343 instead of sort of splitting off campaign team and multiplayer team. Maybe it's a really small multiplayer team that's just making maps and refining the near perfect multiplayer that's already there. And maybe most of 343, like 80 to 90% of it, is full bore on single player. Yeah, on
Well,
campaign.
single player was what, 8 hours?
Depends what
Length doesn't
difficulty
matter. I mean, the thing about this
Yeah,
is length doesn't matter.
no.
It's quality. It's quality, not
Good
quantity.
point.
Mhm.
Yeah,
More-
so we'll see.
More of Chief's team. Integrate lock in
Yes.
interesting ways.
Yeah.
Please.
Or kill
For the
him.
love of God, please.
Or just let him die in a fire.
Yeah, that's. Oh, he
right.
fell in lava. Oh no. I'm still alive. He's burning.
Finally, this week, if you are a Diablo fan, as I am,
Ew.
the Rise of the Necromancer expansion pack is out next week for $15. This adds the Necromancer as a fully playable, as if it were there from the beginning. The Necromancer returning. $15, little steep for me,
Yeah, it is a bit.
but I mean, Necromancer's great character from Diablo 2. So
It's an expansion, so I'm sure it's not just a character, right? There's more than that.
I'd have to double check.
The people who are excited for Necromancer are ridiculously excited for Necromancer. It's some of our best performing content. And like Mobley, one of our gameplay guys who's really big in Diablo also, he loves the character class. So I don't know about the pricing point. I don't have enough information about what the content consists of.
We'll double check next week when it's actually out. But for now, marketplace time. Alana, what can we spend our money on?
Retail, nothing.
Who is foolish enough to release games during E3?
Good point.
Retail, nothing. But get Hitman for free.
Digitally, you can get Super Bomb Rush for $14.50. Dungeon Defenders 2 is free to play. MXGP3 is $50. Outbreak is $5. And Tour de France is $50.
Oh, I like that.
Marketplace.
Pronunciation.
Thank you. Marketplace, playable demo for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is story mode. That's up right now. June games with gold. We have Speedrunners from June 1st to 30 on Xbox One. Watch Dogs from June 16 to July 15 on Xbox One. Dragon Age Origins.
Get it.
From June 16 to 30, Xbox 360 and Xbox One. And Phantom Dust DLC from June 1st to June 30th.
I think Arc is getting an update also.
I mean, it's been getting updated for a while. I think it's actually final release in August. I believe they
Oh, really?
sent out a release.
I got to play that game.
Yeah, it's cool.
I played a very, very, very early version of it, and it was super broken and rough, but I could
It's a survival game.
very much see
It's
the cool
a survival
potential
game,
in
yes.
that game.
Yeah, it's great.
And there's like millions of people playing that already too.
I mean, it's
huge.
mostly
Huge
it's mostly on PC, but yeah, a ton of people playing it.
Okay, let's see here. Where is Unlock Block? There it is. Let's do that. Todd Gagel, whose gamer tag is Evil Todd. I know he's a longtime listener. I recognize that name and gamer tag. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. And he asks you guys this. In late 2016, Xbox One had several big shooter franchises with campaign modes. Yay, shooters with campaigns. According to TrueAchievements.com, as of basically during E3, which of the following 4 2016 shooters had the highest percentage of its players complete the
I
campaign?
really like this question.
Yeah, this is a really cool question.
I mean,
like
this has to
a lot.
be a guess. So
Well, we'll see. So, do you think the most players completed the campaign of Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, or Gears of War 4? So, as you guys ponder that, Marty at 6 points, Alana at 6 points,
Ooh.
Destin at 8.
Ooh.
Hey.
Well, I will go to our leader for
All
the
right.
year, Destin first.
So mine's kind of a guess.
Yep.
It's kind of weird statistically because there's 4 titles, 3 are cross-platform, 1's platform exclusive.
But we're just talking Xbox here. Because this is measuring achievements. This is from a pool of people who've unlocked.
Okay.
So don't even worry about other platforms.
All right. This is tricky. I'm going to toss a coin between A and C.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Titanfall.
Okay. Fairly short campaign, right? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
your lot?
short. And Call of Duty,
Yeah,
I remember Activision. This is one that they were less happy with. So my rationalization is people really like Titanfall 2. We talked about how much we love the campaign.
It's fantastic.
And
It's one of the best shooter campaigns in years, for sure.
so I'm going to go with A, Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2, all right, I like your approach there. Alana?
So I think the one that most people would buy for the campaign would be Gears of War 4, but in terms of sales, I don't think that it necessarily sold the best.
But remember, this is percentage of complete of it's measuring.
So fewer sales might be
so
more completion.
Just to make sure everybody's clear on this, this is
Okay.
measuring. It's got
I see what you're
however
saying.
many number of players per game. It's the percentage of them
yeah,
that have
in
earned
which
that
case,
achievement.
I'm
going to
go with D.
You're going with Gears.
I'm also going with Gears.
Also going
because
with-
I think the other 3 have a much larger multiplayer only fan base.
yeah.
All right, so Gears is over here, Titanfall
Worried.
over here.
I'm worried.
You should be because
Oh,
they're
no.
they're totally right and you're
Jesus.
not.
I should have went with the
To
Xbox
be fair,
exclusive.
it was very close. It
Really?
was only like a small handful of percentage points difference. But yes, Gears of War 4,
Okay.
the highest number of players tracked via True Achievements that completed the campaign. It was a 50-something%.
Thought it was too obvious.
Well, it's something that you would buy for the campaign is the thing,
Yes.
whereas the others you would buy for
I just always remember
play the campaign.
statistically, like people not playing Call of Duty or Battlefield campaigns.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe Battlefield because
It was short.
and it was very good and it was like
Yeah,
chunks, but
of these, Battlefield had the lowest percentage.
oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
probably because it was all the vignette-based things.
Yeah.
And I wonder people might have played 1 or 2 vignettes
And
and just
not-
called it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there you go. Good job, Alana and Marty. And now
Thank you.
8, 7, and 7. We've got a nice tight race as
I'm
we're
a
trophy.
We're about at the halfway mark.
I'm traveling
of the
for the
year.
next 6 weeks straight, but I'm going to be in every single Wednesday.
Oh, we moved recording to
So
Tuesday.
it might be, no, you're not doing that. It might be like for most of I'm going to be in the office 1 or 2 days, but I'm going to be in every single Wednesday.
Good.
Good.
I want to have
Got
it
it.
here.
Yeah.
This is excellent. If you have a trivia question you want to try and stump these guys with, it is unlocked at IGN.com. That's the email address. Please send the Xbox trivia question, include 4, oh man, I'm out of gas, 4 multiple choice answers. Note the correct one in your email. Let's leave. We've at least made up for the very short episode 300 here, I think. Hour and a half show or so.
Yeah.
Destin, plug anything?
I mean, work-wise, it's just all E3 follow-up. We have a ton of stuff still coming out. Our live show demos, our raw gameplay.
Yeah.
And then on the personal thing, I'm still streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 8, twitch.tv/Destin channel, and to youtube.com/Destin channel. I've been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown. I started XCOM 2 up again last night. God, that game is good. And I'm trying to finish off Mass Effect for the end of June. I'm pretty far in. So.
Or you're going to quit the show.
no, Marty.
No one
I
else
learned-
makes dumb promises like that.
Yeah.
Just you. Hey, did you eat that mug?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
How's that sitting down in the old gut?
I don't remember that at all. I don't know what you guys are talking
If
about.
I
There was
made
this
a
guy
mug,
who tweeted at him and was like mad that he didn't actually eat a porcelain mug.
was
You're
me.
like, did you think that he would?
that was me.
No. There was,
It was a guy. It was a man.
yeah.
Marty?
You can follow me at Nick Biggity. You should go see the movie. It comes at night.
It's a good movie.
It's a good.
Oh.
It's a good spooky movie.
It's good. Yeah.
It
Watch the trailer, I think.
Don't watch the trailer.
Yeah.
It has a dog.
It does have a dog. He's
The
very
trailer
good
or the
Like a
movie?
cute
Both.
dog?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, he's cute. Yeah.
Aw,
Is it Stanley? Yeah.
Cujo. No,
No. Well, no.
Alana?
I'm at Charlanazard on all of the things, and we announced last week that I am part of a team of 5 people here who are hosting a show on Disney. It's on Disney XD. It's going to be airing, I think, July 14th at around 9:30 p.m. We don't actually have that time locked in yet, but that's
The
why I'm
IGN
traveling
show.
so much. It's called That IGN Show. We'll be at VidCon. We'll be at Anime Expo, RTX, D23, Evo, and SDCC filming tons of stuff.
Several
Incredibly.
acronyms.
Gamescom, PAX West. We're doing
incredibly
tons of
exciting.
stuff. Yeah, I'm super
super
excited
cool.
about it.
Yeah.
Like we start filming in 2 days, so for sure check that out if you have cable. Otherwise, literally everything we shoot we're allowed to publish on IGN as well. So you
Oh, I was
guys
about to say,
be able
is it
catch
going to be online? Because I definitely don't have cable.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to meet Drake and Josh?
Oh, did you see that they like?
Yeah,
broke
the
up?
wedding thing, that was
Yeah,
so
it
sad.
Really
Oh,
sad.
no.
Yeah. But anyway, very excited about that. We're going to be doing a lot of kind of fun short form content. It's a half-hour show, so it's going to be like really, really snappy. But we're collaborating. Yeah, we're collaborating with tons of different YouTubers and outlets, so it's going to be fun.
All of you youngs hosting that one.
Lots of youngs.
Olds like Marty and I. Kicked to the curb.
I've done
I mean,
too many
aren't you
terrible.
like the same age as Naomi?
I've done too many terrible things to be on a
Be allowed,
be allowed on
Disney.
the
They
channel.
were pretty strict about it. There's stuff that I have had to remove.
Huh. Like
murdered man.
spleen or...
Your
You
spleen?
specifically,
Yeah, I
like,
No spleens on the
on
Disney
that.
Channel.
Yeah, we don't
they're,
allow
like,
those.
super
Spleen-free
against
TV.
I went to my tour and they were just
It's
like,
weird.
no.
They also my kidneys. I don't really know what to make of that.
Well, you can have one. I need the other one. Just in case, that's how the Walt Disney's still alive. He just needs a kidney.
Just every
If you
now
want to
and
do this show, you gotta. You're a
then.
match.
I'd
Turns out
donate
you're a
kidney
match.
to him.
Yeah,
That'll be fine.
yeah, that's good. All right, we're on the same page.
It's happened.
I'm on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. That's pretty much it. I guess you can check out my Tesla podcast if you like cars that are electric and fun. And
That new Model 3.
yeah, Model 3 out next
Showing up
month.
in the wild.
They're running around the Bay Area, the test versions. Anyway, what else? Yeah, it's like Destin said, it's all E3 wrap-up content. If you want to read and argue with me about my opinion column on the Xbox One X and how I have no idea who that thing is for, priced at $499.
Read it first.
Please read
the
it
article.
before
It's-
commenting.
I'm buying it, but it was an interesting
My
conversation.
first response is usually, I didn't read this, but
Yeah.
how I like engaging in arguments.
Yeah. And then
Sometimes it's
after
very
the
easy
comma,
to tell.
you can just disregard everything.
Yeah.
I always sometimes get that on YouTube videos where people will like clearly have not actually watched the video and be mad at me about something and be like, yeah, I said that at this point. And they're like, oh, I didn't watch it. Why are you here?
I've seen
Leave.
people write out whole things. They're like, never mind, you address it
yeah,
at
I've
this
seen
time
that too.
code.
Edit. Yeah.
I was watching a
whoops.
trailer, or actually a gameplay demo of, I think it's called Hunt Showdown. It's a new Crytek.
that game looks
It looks
awesome.
it's very Left 4 Dead-y.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm watching it on YouTube, and I look at the like second comment down. And so, for context, the gameplay is big letters, bottom right corner, pre-alpha gameplay. Guys, like second comment down. I see that at this timestamp, there's a lighting effect that's wrong. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
pretty soon because
5,000 upvotes.
because of people like you, it's just the whole screen is going to have to be
giant watermark.
wall of letters that say, "Hey, dummy, this game's not done yet, so things may be broken in here. Most of them will be fixed by the time the game ships, and then you'll only be able to see the game
Yeah.
through a little tiny like
It'll be a
watermark
picture-in-picture.
size
watermark
Just
the
like
window.
where
screensaver.
someone usually has a webcam on like the
God.
bottom right. It's just the game.
That's it.
And the whole screen. Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, that's great.
That said, I am thinking about writing some more previews. I really want to write a preview of Beyond Good and Evil 2. I know.
I'm the
you got
as the
to see it?
previews editor. I would
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I would like
saw,
that.
We both actually saw it behind closed doors, and I was so impressed.
Yeah.
John Ryan wrote a piece.
He did,
Like,
but he
really good.
didn't play the first one, so I'm assuming that
Oh, that's.
my preview will be very
Please write
serious.
more about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Planning to.
All right, we're out of time. I didn't even get to tell my crazy jury duty story from right before E3.
Got out of it.
I did. Remind me, I'll tell it before next week's show. Yeah, I almost had to miss a chunk of E3.
That wouldn't have been good for business.
Would not have been good for my career. I would have had probably some people not happy with me about that.
Probably.
Even though
Would have been pretty tough.
we'll talk about that next week. For Destin, Alana, and Marty, I'm Ryan. This was Unlocked 301. We're into the 300s. We're old. We will see you next week.